Counting sheep sends you to sleep. Why? Because, like all boring jobs, it's simple and repetitious. It would be good if machines could do all the boring and repetitious jobs. Let's make one that will count our sheep for us. One finger to one sheep is the unitary system. To improve on fingers, we use stones. If we forget how many sheep have passed, the stones act as a record. They are a memory store. Lots of sheep need lots of stones. An improvement on the unitary system of one sheep to one stone is the decimal system. By putting stones into columns and counting in tens, 36 stones can represent 10,000. Put a frame around them, and they become an abacus. The number can be seen at a glance. The abacus both stores and registers the number. The abacus can be improved upon by making the stones into lamps. Then, by adding a switch, the sheep can count themselves. The sheep switch and register can be thought of as input, control, and output. This is a simple computing device. In the decimal system, each number to the left is multiplied by 10. In the binary system, each number to the left is multiplied by 2, but the numbers are added to get the result. In this system, any number can be expressed with the digits 1 and 0. They are called binary digits, or bits. They can represent the on-off state of the lamps, a current flowing or not flowing. A switch, open or closed. A positive or negative waveform. A positive or negative magnetic field. A positive or negative spot on a magnetic tape. Disc or drum. The presence or absence of a hole in a punched card. By combining these devices in different ways, numbers can be put into a computer, processed, and the result shown. First, a number is put into a punched card. And this is passed over an electric roller. Wire brushes touch the roller where there is a hole in the card. And the number on the card is converted to pulses. Positive and negative pulses create positive and negative fields in sets of magnets. The magnets act as a memory store. These numbers can be later released and shown on a register. pulse can operate a switch. In this way, instructions can be sent to different parts of the computer. These instruction pulses can be stored in the memory and later released to operate the correct switches. The switching instruction is called the program. This is stored first. Then the numbers to be calculated are stored. And they are called the input data. First, the program is put in and stored in the processor. Then the input data is put in and stored separately. When both the program and the input data are stored, the computer is ready to begin. A pulse will release the program and the numbers are calculated. When the calculation is finished, the result goes to an electric typewriter and the answer printed out. The input data has been used up, but the program remains to be used as often as required. If you had lots of routine calculations to do, you would use reference tables. Computers keep reference tables in a permanent memory called a backup store. The reference tables are kept on punched card, magnetic tapes, discs, and drums. They are switched to whenever needed. So far, all the input data has been numerical. But it can also be alphabetical. The combination of words and numbers is called alphanumeric. Numbers are put in one block and separated from words by a code signal. The next block of information is words, and so on. The punch tape is passed over a recording head, and the words and numbers are stored until needed. To sum up, the program and input data are typed out and automatically transcribed into punch tape. This is fed into the computer and processed. The answer is punched into tape, and this tape is fed into the output typewriter, where the answer is clearly shown. Before a problem can be put into a computer, it must be broken down into a series of simple and logical steps. This is called a flowchart. Imagine a man learning to juggle. The sequence of steps would be pick up clubs, toss them in the air, catch them. Did you catch them? No? Start again. Pick up clubs, toss them in the air, catch them. Did you catch them? Yes? Finish. A better flow chart would have a fixed number of clubs and work progressively towards it. Logical statements are either true or false. These can be shown by 1 and 0. Elephants have big ears is true and equals 1. Elephants can fly is false and equals 0. Elephants have big ears and can fly is false and equals 0. This is the AND switching circuit. Statements can be set out as switching circuits to show all possibilities. Supposing a ship wants to put to sea. First, the tide must be in, and the weather must be good, and the captain must be sober, and the harbor master informed. A series of AND switches will show the result. Another logic circuit is the NOT relation. This is John Smith. This is not John Smith. It is raining. It is not raining. Then the OR relation can also be shown as a switching circuit. John Smith is wearing a raincoat or carrying an umbrella. He may be doing both. The statement is true whether he is doing one or both at the same time. A simple combination of switches would show that this is John Smith. It is raining. And he is wearing a raincoat. If it were not John Smith, then the statement would have been false. The computer can do 3 things extremely well: calculate very fast, operate complex sequences of switches, store vast quantities of information. Computers used mainly for calculating have a large processor and a small backup store. Automation requires continual checking and surveillance of a process. A computer used here would have several small but highly specialized processors, each dealing with its own task. A computer used for information retrieval requires a large backup store, but a relatively small processor. This type of computer may be used in a large company with thousands of files relating to sales, organization, accounts, stock control, management decisions, and so on. Time, money, and effort is saved by having all this information instantly available. The most complex use of the computer is in space travel. Before a rocket can be sent to the moon, all the conditions it's likely to meet must be simulated. Engineers, doctors, chemists, weathermen, physicists, communications experts must all translate their work in terms that a computer can understand. When this has been done, all the alternatives are compared. Only when every possibility has been considered and checked will the rocket go into production. There seems to be no limits to what can be described by 1 and 0. Pictures, movement, music, and color can all be processed, stored, and retrieved. Can the computer handle any form of information? So far, no one has used 1 and 0 to describe love or hate, fear or courage, generosity or greed, goodness or evil. But it's quite possible these two will find ways of being computerized. It may be a long way off, but if the thought of it makes you lose your sleep, you can always try counting sheep.